Yo, what is up? Look what we have for you today. We are going to look at the C44 medium tank, the tier 7 medium tank from the Polish line. Any day now this tank is going to drop together with all the medium tanks in the Polish line. Look at the renders, they look like they are about ready to go. All the textures are in there, they are all colored, so we're going to look at that today. But before you do that, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like. This is the best way you can support my channel, and also remember to leave a comment in the comments section below. This is the best way you can get Wargaming to listen to us, the players, the people who are fans of this game. They want to listen to your comments. Now we're going to compare it, bring it toe to toe with the best two tanks in this game, which is going to be the T20 and the T43, the two best medium tanks in this game. Now we've looked at some of the other tanks in the medium tank line from the Polish tech tree. They look like more like kind of like armored medium tanks as opposed to like very mobile medium tanks. And we're gonna look at the mobility of this tank. You're gonna see this stats is like almost the same like a T20 with the same kind of speeds. The reverse is slightly slower, 5 kilometers an hour slower, but the power to weight ratio and the traverse speed about the same as a T20. So I'm looking at a tank, I feel like it's gonna have the mobility of a T20, but it's gonna be an up armored T20 because you are talking about more than double the armor, the frontal hull armor, and around double the armor of the turret armor as well. 140 from the hull, 150 from the front of the turret. That is pretty amazing. Also, you're gonna get 300 damage per shot compared to the T20's 240 alpha damage, but you're going to waste 2 more seconds of reload time. But 300 alpha, I think that's like a kind of like a good give or take there, so I say that's not too bad. Also, the penetration from the standard shells a lot better than the T20. We got 168 penetration and 220 on the premium shells. Premium shells slightly less than the T20. Now the T20 is legendary with the premium shells penetration in tier 7. Also, we're gonna have 6 degrees of gun depression, so you're gonna have like a heavy tank kind of gun depression. Only 6 degrees, very difficult to work on the ridges, but we're talking about shell velocity that is relatively high, 966 meters per second shell velocity. That is pretty good. Shell speed, aim time only 2 seconds, so you're talking about really good aim time compared to the T20. Gun dispersion, however, 0.38, not as great as the 0.36 gun dispersion of the T20. Ignore the camouflage values, like I said, in all the Polish medium tank line. For the time being, ignore these camouflage values because they can't have these camouflage values when they are released, because this puts them in the light tank category kind of camouflage values. So I assume they are going to change that. These camouflage values are only for the super test servers. Maybe they're gonna fulfill some kind of requirement for them to put them on the test servers. Next up, let's compare it to the T43. Now the T43 is the big daddy of the medium tanks, a lot like a T44. Mobility is a lot better. We have 50 more horsepower. It looks like the top speed is slower than the CS44. So CS44 looks like it's got better speed, better mobility, but I feel like the T43 is going to have you're going to wiggle a lot better because the swing speed or the hull traverse is 39 degrees, 3 degrees more than the CS44. So you're talking about a bit better mobility in terms of wiggling around, but in terms of speed it's going to be slightly slower than the CS44. Again, CS44 heavily armored compared to a T43, but where the T43 wins is the reload time. The time it takes you to reload one shell on the CS44, the T43 can fire twice. The T43 only does 180 damage compared to the CS44, which does 300. So that's the reason why it fires nearly twice as fast. Penetration wise, also again, T43 has a lot lower penetration on the standard shell, a lot lower penetration on the premium shells, but it does, however, have 8 degrees of gun depression. So you're talking about more mobility on the T43 here, faster firing gun, I feel, but less effectiveness because it has less armor, and because you have less penetration, and because it does less damage. I feel like the CS44 is going to be a little bit more aggressive playstyle compared to the T43 and the T20. So the CS44 is going to play closer to the front line together with the heavy tanks. That's the feeling that I'm getting out of the CS44. It is kind of unique for a medium tank, and I feel that so far the tanks that I've featured in this channel, all the medium tanks on the Polish line, they are all very interesting. So I've done the tier 5, this tier 7, the tier 8 and the premium tank. I feel that all 4 tanks are collectible. I want to get them and I want to keep them in the garage. Again, we're going to ignore the camouflage values because it's got light tank camouflage values at the moment. I'm sure they're going to change it by the time they release it on the test server. Tell us what you think. Tell me what you think about this tank. I feel that it's a bit powerful. I feel that it's going to be very interesting. I feel like a lot of people are going to want this tank. So remember, leave a comment in the comment section below. I hope Wargaming reads them and pays attention to your comments, to your ideas, to your feedback. Again, tell us what you think, and remember, give this video a like if you enjoyed this video, and a little bit of a preview on the CS44. I feel like this tank is going to be coming out soon, maybe in a week's time, on the common test server. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.